modern football. We are obsessed with physical perfection. We look for the speed of Mbappe, the strength of Haaland, the height of Van Dijk. But the man who broke the decade-long dominance of Messi and Ronaldo didn't have any of that. He was told he was too small. He was told he was too weak. He was a boy born into the crossfire of a brutal war, living in a refugee hotel, practicing with a ball in a parking lot full of craters. This is not just a story about football. This is the story of the little magician who outlasted them all. This is the life of Luka Modrić. Part 1. The Child of War, Childhood. To understand Luka Modrić, you have to go back to 1985. He was born in the tiny hamlet of Modrić, on the slopes of the Velebit Mountains in Zadar, Croatia. His early childhood was simple, spent mostly with his grandfather, Luka Sr., whom he was named after. But in 1991, everything changed. The Croatian War of Independence broke out. Tragedy struck the family in the worst way possible. Serbian rebels executed his grandfather near their home. The house was burned to the ground. 6-year-old Luka and his family were forced to flee with nothing but the clothes on their backs. They became refugees in their own city, living in crowded, run-down hotels in Zadar for years. The sound of grenades and bullets was their daily soundtrack. But inside that hotel parking lot, amidst the fear, Luka found his escape. He kicked a punctured ball against the hotel wall for hours. It was his distraction from the war. It was here, on the jagged concrete, that he developed that famous first touch. Because if you couldn't control the ball there, you lost it. Part 2. Too small, too weak. The youth. By the time the war ended, Luka's talent was undeniable, but so was his physical disadvantage. He was tiny. He looked fragile. He went on trial at Hajduk Split, the club he supported as a kid. The result? They rejected him. They said he was too small, too weak, and lacked the stamina for professional football. It was a crushing blow, but one man saw something else. Tomislav Basic, the head of the youth academy at NK Zadar, became Luka's second father. The story goes that Basic even made Luka his first pair of shin guards out of wood, because the family couldn't afford real ones. Basic believed that Luka's brain was faster than anyone else's legs. He pushed Luka to sign with Dinamo Zagreb, the biggest club in the country. But even they weren't sure if he could handle the physicality of the men's game. Part 3. The School of Hard Knocks, Early Career. So, Dinamo sent him on loan. And they didn't send him somewhere easy. They sent him to the Bosnian Premier League to play for Zrinjski Mostar. The Bosnian league at that time was notoriously brutal. It was physical, aggressive, and unforgiving. The logic was simple. If Luka survives here, he can survive anywhere. And he didn't just survive, he thrived. At 18 years old, he was voted the player of the season. He proved that you don't need to be a giant to dominate the midfield. You just need to be smarter. He returned to Dinamo Zagreb, won 3 league titles, and finally, the big leagues came calling. In 2008, he moved to the Premier League with Tottenham Hotspur. Again, the English media doubted him. He's too lightweight for the Premier League, they said. But under Harry Redknapp, Modrić ran the show. He wasn't scoring 30 goals a season, but he was the engine that made everything work. He caught the eye of the biggest club in the world. Part 4. The Golden Era, Achievements. In 2012, Real Madrid signed him. But the start was a nightmare. He was played out of position, struggled for form, and was famously voted the worst signing of the season by a Spanish newspaper poll. Most players would crumble. Modrić just kept working. Fast forward a few years, and that worst signing became the heartbeat of the greatest Real Madrid team in modern history. Alongside Toni Kroos and Casemiro, he formed the Bermuda Triangle of midfield, where the opponent's ball went to die. But the peak came in 2018, the World Cup in Russia. Captaining a small nation of only 4 million people, Modrić led Croatia to an impossible World Cup final. He played 3 back-to-back matches that went extra time. He was running on fumes and pure heart. Though they lost the final to France, the world recognized greatness. In 2018, Luka Modrić won the Ballon d'Or, ending the 10-year reign of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. The refugee boy from Zadar was officially the best player on the planet. He has since won 6 Champions League titles. 6. That is more than most clubs have in their entire history. Part 5. Timeless. The present. Most players retire or move to easier leagues by 34 or 35. But Luka Modrić isn't most players. After a legendary era in Madrid, he sought one final challenge. Now, at 40 years old, he is writing the final chapter of his career in Italy, playing for the legendary AC Milan. Critics thought he would slow down, but he remains an indispensable part of the Rossoneri midfield. His vision hasn't aged a day, and it's not just club football. He is still the captain, the leader, and the soul of the Croatian national team. He continues to defy biology, proving that while speed fades, class is permanent. Part 6. The Legacy. From a war refugee practicing in a crater-filled parking lot to a 40-year-old icon dominating the midfield at the San Siro, Luka Modrić didn't just play the game, he mastered it. He taught us that you don't have to be the biggest or the strongest to be the greatest. You just have to never stop fighting. What is your favorite Luka Modrić moment? Was it the 2018 World Cup run, his years at Real Madrid, or his current renaissance at Milan? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, drop a like and subscribe for more football legends. Thanks for watching.